Hi, very good afternoon to you. It's Gene from maverickstar. Don't worry guys, I know it's been a few days since the last update, but I'm still here. The Observatory is still collecting data and our superstars around the world are still sending their data here for us to process and put up on the website. If you've not been to our website, it is poleshiftnews.com. That's all you have to type in, and you can come to a website that will keep you up to date, truthfully, accurately and honestly with all the goings on with our climate and what is taking place on our earth right now. There is, as you can imagine, a lot of hysteria taking place right now with climate change, and that is because they are still pushing, to raise trillions of dollars for their CO2 hoax. I just want to say one thing. There is not one peer-reviewed scientific paper in existence that suggests or proves that man has caused global warming and climate change on this planet. Let that sink in for just a few moments, because it is nothing more than hysteria and hype and corruption. What we're seeing right now is absolutely against everything scientific to do with climate, and it is only being done to steal trillions of pounds of taxpayers' money. And we're seeing this not just in the domain of climate, but in wars that are taking place. And I want to show you some slightly a little funny later on at the end of this video. But the media is going beyond now hysteria. It's becoming ridiculous. But the point is, I want to make is that people around the world are still buying into this scam. They're still buying into it. They still believe in Kentucky, where those floods was recently, where they're suggesting 1,000-year record was broken with, rainfalls, and people have sadly lost their lives. They are putting this down to CO2 and climate change. It's like whoever is reporting on these subjects from mainstream media, they cannot wait to jump in and push that out there, that this is climate change. This is global warming. This is caused by man emitting too much CO2. I'm going to say this, guys. We're going to have our pockets broke if these world governments continue pushing this agenda. We cannot simply afford CO2 climate change right now. We are way behind in the preparations for what is really coming on. Maybe in the not too distant future, we may be 7 to 8 months away from a remarkable event. I'm talking about crossing that boundary between the weak and strong field lines as this magnetic pole migrates across the northern hemisphere. The only way you can help yourself right now, the only way I can help you keep informed on this event, is by supporting what we do here at the Observatory. And we report it as it is. I just want to say, I received this from Kendall, one of our superstars in Canada. He's monitoring that low intensity over Canada right now for us. And he's doing it on his own, without funding. He's doing it out the goodness of his heart. And I believe that all our superstars should be paid. I really do. But we can't even afford to keep one person on at this observatory. And that's why, from 10 years when we started this, from the 5 years that we've had an observatory, we have had to go to those levels beyond, reasonability. That's what I'm saying. We had to program these magnetometers ourselves. We had to assemble them ourselves. And we've had to ourselves fund it to this point at time. And if people don't continue funding it, we will disappear. It's as clear and simple as that. We need to raise funds every single month, and I really hate it. I've took a few days off because I've been trying to figure out ways in which we can do this without having to ask you guys to support it. The truth is, there isn't any other way. If we start taking corporate funding, we simply, get reined in by that corporation. We can't, share the information freely as we do right now. It's as simple as that. If it wasn't for people supporting what we do, being one of our patrons or supporting us with a one-off donation on PayPal, we wouldn't be here today. I cannot emphasize, guys, if our funding shuts down tomorrow, I don't know what we'll do. I really don't. I want to thank those that have supported us up until this point, and I also want to just remind people that there is a link down there that you can help us. I know what times we're all living in, but we cannot afford to lose this observatory. It requires, motivated people to spend their time making a donation. That's the only way we can continue doing this. Right now, things are pretty normal over Canada. Nothing what we're seeing at this moment suggests excuse me, nothing suggests there is anything alarming taking place. That should be a refreshing, bit of news for you, because what we're getting from mainstream media is hysteria, and your head will stop spinning at some point, and you'll have probably a nervous breakdown because of what's going on. We're not at that critical level right now, is all I'm saying. You check out any of our datas from around the world with those good people that are putting out the information for us, and you'll see that things are progressing as they are, and they are obviously moving towards that point where we could see action, but right now it's not. Things are normal. We expect to see 2 microtesla shifts in the data, and that's what we're seeing right now. But guys, we've got to right now start pulling together. Otherwise we're going to lose ourselves in the midst of the lies that is taking place. And trust me, the mainstream media is very convincing of their lies. We are facing big trouble in this world. There is a magnetic pole reversal taking place on our planet. There is wide scale corruption by many global governments right now. We need to start banding together, working together, if we are going to cut through the severe level of BS. If you want to know really what's going on in your world, it's the magnetic pole shift. We are experiencing a grand solar minimum. We are approaching another glacial period, and we could already be very close to that door of passing that threshold of the thermocline out in space, where our planet takes an elliptical orbit from its central orbit normally that it experiences only for a short space of time of around 15,000 years. We are probably 6,000 to 8,000 years heading towards that thermocline where this planet is going to cool down, and as I've showed you many times, that is what's called a glacial period. There is big trouble ahead. I don't want to frighten people, I want to inform them. But what we're seeing right now on the mainstream media is leading people into the wrong direction, and it's going to cost lives, and it already has, guys. This is getting serious now. Guys, I wanted to show you something else, but the video's gone on for a little bit too long. I'll show you tomorrow something very alarming, and something else might develop from now till then anyhow, and I think that would be a wiser decision to bring this to your attention. But until then, there's a link down there. You can help support some good people in this world that are trying to keep the the lights on with regards to truth, because there is a vast darkness out there. Links are down there in the description. I'll say what I usually do, as always. Bye for now.